for professional and confidential medical laboratory services. La Falaise provides results for all medical tests. If it can't be done there, they will facilitate it through their international partners. Their main office in Roseau is open from 7:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Mondays to Fridays and 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Home visits and emergency services are also available. Call 448-0100, WhatsApp 276-5213 or visit any of their other locations. Picard in Portsmouth, Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Marigot, Mondays and Wednesdays, 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Or Grande, every first and third Thursday, 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. La Falaise Medical Laboratory. My choice, your choice, our choice.
Fair and balanced, unbiased and clear, concise and accurate. This is the DBS Evening News. Here now is your presenter with the headlines.
In the headlines, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit joins us live shortly to discuss new information coming from the United States. In news from the region, Barbados reacts to new travel advisory. And internationally, Russia's president vows no more wars if West treats Russia with respect. Good evening, I am Leila Langford. Details of the news when we return.
This Christmas, Flo's making the season merrier when you add postpaid to internet. Unwrap a new smartphone for only $10. Plus, we're giving you 35% off your mobile bill and win even more goodies with our Spin the Wheel Christmas promotion. This Christmas, the rewards are on us. Add postpaid to your internet plan today in-store or visit discoverflow.co for more info. Terms and conditions apply. Flo, we keep your Christmas rhythm flowing.
DBS News.
Welcome back. Making the headline this evening, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit joins us live to discuss new information coming from the United States. Good evening, Prime Minister Skerrit. Can you bring us up to date on the recent developments from the United States?
Well, good evening to you, and of course, good evening to your listeners. Just to give you a brief update, and next week I'll give a longer update and report. But as you will recall, there was a proclamation by the President of the United States of America with regards to restricting entry to the United States of holders of Dominican passports with U.S. visas. There has been a suspension of this proclamation. So Dominicans who are currently holders of visas of any kind or any type are able to travel to the United States past January 1st, 2025. This is a major development, and I want to thank the head of mission in the Embassy of the United States in Barbados and the staff, and of course the State Department and the folks in the State Department and our ambassador in Washington and our Minister of Foreign Affairs and all those who played the part in working with the United States authorities on this matter. So it's a very important, and I want to thank the United States government itself for understanding the situation and agreeing to set aside for the time being the proclamation from the United States government. And so this is good news. The anxieties that we all would have had should be set aside, and we will continue engaging as a partner for so many years, and we will continue working with them on whatever issues that they may have and concerns they may have as we move forward together as partners. But this is indeed very good news.
Special thanks to Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit for shedding light on this matter. DBS Radio will continue to follow up on developments on this matter. In other news, the Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association has outlined a set of recommendations for the cruise sector. Kitwani Ferrara is president of the Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association.
Our recommendation moving forward: stay over arrival levy at $20 collected via IATA and allocated to the Tourism Development Fund. Increase in cruise head tax with at least $6 allocated to the Tourism Development Fund. Eliminating all site fees, establishing Dominica as a one national park destination. Creating a dedicated, jointly managed tourism development fund with private, public sector oversight. A guarantee that levy, funds, and cruise head tax are used strictly to address the long-standing gap in the marketing and site maintenance funding. Ensure special consideration for ferry arrivals, such as the elimination of the embarkation tax in lieu of new levy. We emphasize that the DHTA holds a strong history of constructive collaboration with the government. During COVID-19, we worked together to safeguard jobs and revive the sector. We fully support major public investments in airlift, including the recent runway expansion and securing additional flights, along with the continued work on the international airport development, all critical to the sector's development.
President of the Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association, Kitwani Ferrara. The United Progressive Party has appointed a new executive to advance the party's mission in Dominica. President of the United Progressive Party, Joshua Francis, says this new executive is an accomplished and well-diverse team.
The United Progressive Party, often called the UP Party, has ratified a board or an executive or management team consisting of persons with different backgrounds, different experiences, and persons who capture different demographics. So we have persons representing different age groups, persons who are trained in different disciplines, and persons who have experience dealing with the ordinary Dominican. The board, which has been formed, consists of a president, which is filled in by yours truly, Mr. Joshua Francis, First Vice President Charles Williams, Joanne Green, Second Vice President, Loftus Dura, Public Relations Officer, Cabral Douglas, International Secretary and Diaspora Affairs, Alia Jajak, Youth Coordinator and Environmental Secretary, Alison Pelte, Events Coordinator, Heather Vidal, Secretary, and Paul Blanchard, Treasurer. This is an accomplished team which brings together a wealth of experience, fresh perspectives, and unwavering dedication to the principles and objectives of the United Progressive Party.
President of the United Progressive Party, Joshua Francis. The United Progressive Party is a newly established political party in Dominica. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit has reiterated that it is not the role of the government to determine who should serve as leader of the opposition. Speaking on the matter during his end-of-year press conference, Prime Minister noted that the Constitution provides for the position of the leader of the opposition. However, he explained that the current circumstances make up the appointment is difficult due to the makeup of the minority side of the House.
As you know, there are two members, they're independent members of the House, and the Constitution says that the leader of opposition shall be the person who control or who appears to be, to have the support, what's the effect, have the support of the majority of the minority members on the opposite side. So no one, based on the provisions of the Constitution, has the majority of the minority on the opposite side, because you have two. So for one to be, the other one must say, I support. That's what happened in the first instance. But that did not happen. What we have done, which is uncharacteristic, it doesn't happen anywhere, is that where you don't have a leader opposition, is that we have allowed for the member of Marigot on 2 occasions to respond to the Minister of Finance budget address. And not only to allow him to respond, but to give him equal time to respond, so as we allow for the opposition members to have a bigger voice, though their numbers are few in comparison to that of the government. And I believe that it has been very helpful, it has been very constructive, And I think that it has elicited a lot of debate and discussion in terms of the submission of the opposition member in response to the Minister of Finance budget address. So our hope and prayer is that there should be, but it's not for us to determine.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. 60 local entrepreneurs will be featured at the 7th Annual Christmas Village, which is set to be officially opened at its new venue, Lindo Park Goodwill, this evening. The village, which will run from Friday, December 19 to January 2nd, 2026, is being held under the theme Believe. Parliamentary representative for Roseau Central, Melissa Popon-Skerrit, is the organizer of the event.
This theme encourages us to embrace the spirit of hope, unity, and faith, the values that define Christmas and that which defines us and strengthens us as a people. This year, the Christmas Village, it will feature about 60 vendors, each of them contributing in different ways to the cultural richness and economic activity of the season. They are micro-entrepreneurs. You will find a variety of offerings. They are food vendors, artisans, service providers, all experiencing increased income during the season and great exposure during the village. And this will create meaningful economic activity for families and small businesses who will be participating. Tonight's opening is going to be filled with a lot to see, hear, and feel. I would say it's a full sensory celebration of Dominica's Christmas culture and the Christmas spirit. So visitors tonight, you can look forward to seeing fireworks. We have Christmas caroling with the Dominica Police Force Band. We have fire blowers delivering thrilling performances, a high-energy appearance by Colin XP, our traditional Lapo Cabwit, of course, Christmas rhythms, and the Christmas tradition of bamboo bursting will be part of our celebration tonight. So it's going to be an atmosphere of excitement like never before.
Parliamentary representative for Roseau Central, Melissa Popon-Skerrit. Meantime, a new feature of this year's event is the Young Bosses Holiday Market, which will showcase products from young entrepreneurs.
The most exciting part for me is a new addition to the Christmas Village this year, and this is the Young Bosses Holiday Market. And I have invited young entrepreneurs, children across Dominica, to be a part of this Christmas Village. We have provided a separate section for them, free of charge, just to allow them to show their skills, their gifts, and to allow them to express themselves through business, to learn to be a young boss. I, too, was involved in business at a very young age, and it was very exciting for me. So I wanted to create this avenue for children who are specifically interested in being an entrepreneur. So in this area, I was quite impressed. There are lots of our young children, ages from 7 to about 17, beading, handmade jewelry. There's one with vegan food, vegan treats, cupcakes, arts and crafts, photography. There are mini chefs. There are those who are bedazzling gadgets. There's a lot to offer in this section. So I invite everybody to pass through this section, patronize them, because this initiative gives our children the opportunity to explore entrepreneurship at a very young age. It allows them to build confidence and to share their creativity with the nation. And so for me, it is one of the most heartwarming features of this year's celebration.
Parliamentary representative for Roseau Central, Melissa Popon-Skerrit. The official opening is set for 7 p.m. at the Lindo Park in Goodwill. DBS Radio will bring live coverage of the event on its social media platforms. The Dominica Government Band has announced its 75th Christmas musicale in Roseau under the distinguished patronage of Her Excellency Silvani Burton and Mr. Burton. The Government Band has begun its annual outreach aimed at spreading holiday cheer while bringing live music directly to citizens.
Well, the Government Band once again is bringing Christmas cheer to different parts of the island. On the 12th, we're at St. Mary's Primary, 13th Grand Fork, 14th Marigold, 15th Dominica Infirmary, The 17th we're in Portsmouth. Tonight the 19th will be at the police headquarters. Tomorrow the 20th, Kalinago territory. And on Monday the 22nd, the Dominica Government Band presents its 75th Christmas musical at the Rosa Christmas Village in Lindo Park, Goodwill. The band is made up of over 30 talented musicians. We all love music genuinely. And the repertoire we have this year is very, very exciting. That can satisfy all age groups. So I'm just asking the public, the Dominican public, come out to Lindo Park on Monday the 22nd. Come support the Dominica Government Band. Come ready to sing. Come ready to dance. Viva la musica.
Band Master Peter Later. That's the national focus, regional and international developments up next.
This Christmas, Flow's making the season merrier when you add postpaid to internet. Unwrap a new smartphone for only $10. Plus, we're giving you 35% off your mobile bill and win even more goodies with our Spin the Wheel Christmas promotion. This Christmas, the rewards are on us. Add postpaid to your internet plan today in-store or visit discoverflow.co for more info. Terms and conditions apply. Flow, we keep your Christmas rhythm flowing.
DBS News.
In news from the region, the Barbados government has taken offense at the decision by the United Kingdom to issue a travel advisory this week, warning British travelers of terrorist attacks on the Caribbean island. For the first 9 months of the year, Barbados welcomed 160,749 stayover visitors from the UK, a slight decrease from the previous year, with the United States becoming the new top market, though UK visitors still represent a significant proportion of tourists. In its travel advisory, the British Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office cautioned that although there's no recent history of terrorism in Barbados, attacks cannot be ruled out. And internationally, Russia's President Vladimir Putin has said there will be no more wars after Ukraine if Russia is treated with respect, and claims that Moscow is planning to attack European countries are nonsense. His remarks were in line with a recent comment in which he said Russia was not planning to go to war but was ready right now if Europe wanted to. Putin claimed to be ready and willing to end the war in Ukraine peacefully, but offered little sign of compromise. However, U.S. President Donald Trump has said a peace deal is closer than ever. That's news, the DBS Evening Sports Report. Up next with Curtis Matthew.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Let's begin the DBS Evening Sports Report with cricket news. Let's go straight to New Zealand, where the West Indies are batting in the first innings. They're replying to 575 for 8 declared, made by New Zealand. A little while ago, the West Indies, in response, were 113 for 1. Campbell is the batsman out for 45. King is unbeaten 57. And Cavem Hodge is batting at the moment, yet to get off the mark. So as the West Indies 113 for 1, Campbell was out just after the day's interval, and he made 45. King is on 57. Hodge is yet to get off the mark. The West Indies 113 for 1, batting to New Zealand's first innings score of 575 for 8 declared. Let's bring you some more cricket news. Tilak Varma hit a half century as India eased past South Africa to win the 5-match T20 series today. Varma made 73, Hardik 63 as India posted 231 for 5 in their 20 overs batting first. Corbin Bosch he took 2 for 44. South Africa chasing 232 to square the series. They were restricted to 201 for 8 in their 20 overs. Quinton de Kock top scored with 65. Dewald Brevis got 31. India won by 31 runs. They won the series by 3-1. Now some football news. The Public Relations Officer of the DFA, Abby Lawrence, is hopeful that an announcement will be made in the new year as it relates to the position of General Secretary of the DFA. The position became vacant after the DFA decided not to renew the contract of the former General Secretary, Jasmine Vidal Matthew. Lawrence says the DFA is hoping to have the position filled by January.
This search is on, and we want to thank Mrs. Matthew for a sterling contribution towards football. During the new year, you will definitely see and know who the new General Secretary is.
All right, so for the benefit of the listeners, people are probably not too familiar as to how that whole process goes around. Is it something where you apply, or is it something that is handpicked by the president? Can you just maybe explain the process?
The president holds the onus in choosing his general secretary with guidance from the executive, that is, and other football stakeholders. But the prerogative, it's on the president's hand to choose, to handpick someone he believes will work with him and will shape his vision. Well, it's not about friendship, it's about capacity. It's about you knowing the football, knowing the constituents to which you will be administering the very policies of that of the executive. So it's not just a wash your foot and come. It's someone that loves the game and loves people and wants to see football go forward.
And that's the Public Relations Officer of the DFA, Abby Lawrence. He also says the DFA has made some good progress with the position of head coach of the senior men's national football team. He says the Dominica Football Association has shortlisted over 500 applications.
Soon a statement will be made. Yes, the new head coach will be chosen. A team of panelists together with 2 key officials from another FA is assisting in proper vetting of officials. As one would be aware, Gavin, Dominicans were not the only persons applying. We had about 575 candidates applying to be the head coach of the Dominica Football Association. So right now we have streamlined, and in due course, the shortlisting of candidates will be given and the coach will be selected.
Some more football news. Coach of the National Women's Under-17 football team, Roselia Regis, says she's confident Dominica will get better results despite the start so far in the Women's Windward Islands Under-17 football tournament in Grenada. Dominica has started off the competition with 2 defeats, going down to St. Vincent and Grenada.
Despite the results, we have shown improvement in every game, from the goalkeeper to the attackers. We're using this tournament to assess our current level of match fitness, game awareness, and team cohesion, which are our primary objectives. The matches have highlighted specific areas where we must focus our efforts, finishing, being more clinical in the attacking third, tactical, sharpening our decision-making in key moments, mental, being focused and confident, physical, building on the match fitness to keep high level of play. The scoreline does not reflect their true ability, but an eye-opener showing exactly where we need to grow. The players are aware of these areas and the responsibility to improve. Hard work and discipline are never easy to follow, but trusting in the process and learning from these experiences will for sure bring success.
And that's the coach of the National Women's Under-17 football team, Roselia Regis. Let's go back to, let's stay with football. Coach Israel, actually Kerja Israel, continued with his hot form in front of goal to pilot Fokole FC into the finals of the DFA Division 1 President's Cup last night. Fokole took down South City FC in a high-scoring affair in the semi-finals of the other DFA Technical Center. Fokole got onto the score sheet after just 40 seconds and took a 5-0 lead in the first half before South City could respond. The game ended 6-3. Kerja Israel got a hat-trick for Fokole. Shamari Bob, Kerdel Joseph, Otter Xavier scored for Fokole, while Ian Oscar got a hat-trick for South City. Fokole coach Royston Williams.
Well, it was a good game. The plan we execute our plan to perfection, and we just had a few laps in the end. We give the number 11 too much space and he ended up capitalizing on it. But otherwise, it was a good game. Yeah.
All right, so it was a good game. You got a goal literally in the first 30 seconds there so of the game. So how much do you think that would have influenced the game overall?
Well, we had decided we want an early goal. But I find it come really earlier, so that break down the mentality of the other team.
All right, and once again, Israel, another good game for him, another hat-trick.
Well, Israel is aiming to be one of the best swings in Dominica, hailing from that village of Fonkole there. Yeah, he have it coming, man. Yeah.
All right, so that sets up a date with Baffin State on Sunday in the finals. Baffin State would have beaten Mighty Avengers. What do you take from that game against Mighty Avengers as you look to prepare for Baffin State on Sunday?
Well, Baffin State came back for revenge for that match in the finals there. So now we just watching. We're letting our players do the talking on the field, on the pitch, not with their mouth. Yeah, so now we just assessing the situation and we will see what goes on from it.
And that's the Fokole coach Royston Williams. Meanwhile, South City FC coach Sean Martin says his team was slow out of the gates.
Our marking was a problem. We weren't marking properly at the beginning of the half, and that definitely cost us as well. When we spoke to the guys halftime, we saw a big improvement. If you notice, I actually told them we won the second half because we won. The score in the second half was 2-1, and that just showed the kind of a character the guys have. Coming second half, and they played a bit better, and which we were expecting even from the beginning of the game. But when you go down in a tight game like that against a team that have been playing good throughout the season, it's kind of difficult for you to come back. So in the first half we lost the game, but I'm still proud of the guys. Throughout the season they have played well to reach this far. So I just want to tell them, well, keep it up, and then we just go Sunday for the next game.
As you mentioned, there's one more game to go, so you can still look at a third place. But overall, you touched on it in terms of your season. What did you take from this year's competition as relatively new guys on the block?
Well, we're taking a lot from it because we are very proud of our accomplishments so far. Just being a second year in the league, so we're looking to make a few signings for the new season to improve on the team because we know we are weak, and it is a matter of developing from there.
And that's the South City FC coach, Sean Martin. Well, Fokole FC, they will meet Bathurst State in the finals on Sunday. Do-It Center Mighty Avengers will meet South City FC in the third place match Sunday as well. Some more cricket news. One of the coaches at the Dominica Cricket Academy, Sam Kernan, says he's disappointed Dominica's Arsenio Fontaine was not called up to the West Indies Final 15 for the Under-19 World Cup. Fontaine, who is Dominica's leading youth batsman, he was named as reserve for the January tournament in Zimbabwe and Namibia. Fontaine, he was initially named in the team for the series against Sri Lanka and England this year. He had a top score of 39 in the series against England and managed 1/2 century in the 5-match series against Sri Lanka. He scored a total of 195 runs in the 2 series at an average of 20. However, It must be noted that Fontaine started out as a number 3 batsman before being thrusted into the opening slot. Coach Cannon says he felt Fontaine did enough to be included in the team, but the selectors had raised some concerns.
To be honest, against Sri Lanka, he performed credibly, but what they said to me was his strike rate. So, in one-day cricket, they're looking for at least a run a ball. So if you face 100 balls, they're looking at least 400 runs. He was down to 76 against pace and down to 74 against spin. That means his strike rate is not high enough for an opener. But initially, when he came back from Antigua, we were training for him to bat at number 3. Yeah? So I was quite surprised when we went down to Grenada. He was thrust into the opening position, and the guy who was opening was batting at number 3. The guy who was batting at number 3 was making runs at the top, and he wasn't making runs at number 3. However, he has a really good strike rate. He's hitting over 100. So we have to understand that in the white ball game, they're looking for quick starts, and the strike rotation has to be over 100 plus, if that makes sense.
And that's one of the coaches at the Dominica Cricket Academy, Sam Kernan. And finally, Travis Head hit an unbeaten century as Australia continued to pile on the pressure in the third Ashes Test with England. The Australians are in with a healthy second innings lead as they will be looking to set England a massive target when play resumes day 4 later tonight. Head smashed 142 not out to guide Australia to 271 for 4 at Stumps on day 3, a lead of 356. Earlier in the day, England, they were bowled out for 286. The scores so far, it's Australia 371 and 271 for 4, England 286. The Aussies are in front by 356 runs. Play resumes at 7:30. This evening. That's a look at the DBS evening news and sports. Let's bring you an update on the West Indies test match with New Zealand. Joseph Fadul.
Yes, thank you very much, Curtis Matthew. Well, right now, the West Indies trailing by 446 runs and now 129 for 1, with Kavem Hodge just picking up 2 runs. He was at 13 runs for quite a bit of time. He and Brandon King are at the creases on either end. So Kavem Hodge just getting 2 runs to take his tally to 15. Brandon King is also not out on 58. Scores before we end the evening sports, 129 for 1. The West Indies trailing by 446 runs. Curtis Matthew.
Thank you very much, Joseph Fadul. That too will end the TBS Evening News and Sports. Will bring you another newscast 7 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. Until then, on behalf of the News and Sports Department and our link person, Joseph Fadul, Curtis Matthew saying good night.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fenced pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
DBS Radio gives you top quality service over any other for live streaming of funerals. Call us today at 448-3282.
have one death announcement this evening. We announce the death of Dion Green, better known as Ondi. He died on Saturday, 6 December at the Dominica, China Friendship Hospital. He will be remembered by his siblings, D'Africa and Amandamus Thomas, Lana, Isael, David, Dale, Mavis, Evelyn, Myron, Gertrude, Anne, Anthony, Marie-Therese, Yolan, Lynn, Kenneth, Kathleen, Heather, Timothy, Covell, Vivian, and Stephanie Green. Numerous nieces and nephews, including Issa Green and Jaquan Liquat,